Hey everyone, Lee with LG Speed and Custom here, and in this video we are going to be putting some shine back into 75-year-old paint. So this is Shannon's 1949 Meteor. Believe it or not, but this car is in original paint. This paint is 75 years old and still looks fantastic. It's got a couple little flaws here and there. The paint's starting to break through on the top of the fenders and stuff, but that's to be expected when it's 75 years old. It's really oxidized and it's really starting to bug me. So in this video, we are going to make it shine. I went and picked up some 3M Perfect It rubbing compound, and we're going to use this with some foam pads on the polisher, and that is going to remove all the oxidation out of this. Before we do that, I got a clay bar kit here. We're going to clay bar the car to get rid of any of the impurities that are like embedded in the paint. I know there's a couple spots where birds pooped on it and we wiped it off, and there's still like a little spot there. There's a funny thing on the trunk that I want to try to get rid of. So we'll do that. I've also got a little can of touch-up paint. If you'll remember quite a few videos back when Shannon and I went to the Portland swap meet, she found some original fender skirts for this car. When we lowered it and put the fender skirts on, I had originally painted them with this green. It was just a random can of green paint I had in the shop. It was horrendous. Did not match at all. Huge mistake painting them that green. So a couple days later, I just sprayed some gray primer on to get rid of it. I've got a color sample mixed up. My friend Jim at Rondex, he polished a little spot on the quarter panel here and scanned the paint and then mixed this up. And this is supposed to be, I haven't seen it yet, but he says it's a very close match. So we're gonna spray the fender skirts with this. This is a base clear. The base coat is just in an aerosol can because it was just the most economical way to get a small amount. So we'll give those a sand, spray our green base on, and then give them a coat of clear. At the very end, just to seal everything all up, once we've got it polished and we get the shine back, we're just gonna give it a wax with some Mother's Carnauba Gold, California Gold Carnauba wax. I think we'll probably start on the fender skirts first. That way the base and the clear and everything can dry on those while we're doing the rest of this. And then hopefully, probably not gonna get it all done today, but hopefully by the end of the weekend, this thing will be shiny with color match fender skirts and ready to cruise. Step one, let's remove these fender skirts. There's the lever. Where's the lever? There's the lever. Fender skirts off. I've moved outside in an attempt to keep the dust out of the shop. I'm just gonna quickly give these a DA sand with some 320. We're not going for concourse restoration on this. This is a street car. So we're basically just gonna rough them up and spray them green. There is a little ding right here. Again, not gonna worry about it because we're trying to match this to 75-year-old paint that has scuffs and scratches and dings in it. So if we make these perfect, they're gonna look out of place on the car. So. These are all sanded with some 320. I just wiped them down with some wax and grease remover. I'm gonna mix up a little bit of sealer now before we spray our green base coat on. And the sealer is just we got a little few spots here with some bare metal, and I didn't get super carried away painting inside these or sanding inside these ribs because it sucks. So if we spray some sealer on there, that'll just give it all like a uniform finish so that when the base coat goes on, it doesn't have like a dark spot and a light spot because of the surface that's underneath it. So this is our sealer. If we were gonna be spraying this and then block sanding it, we would mix this as high build primer, which is just 4 parts primer to 1 part activator. Because we're spraying it as a sealer, meaning we're not gonna sand it, we're just gonna paint right over top. We want it to lay a little bit flatter. So to do that, you're doing 4 parts primer, 1 part activator to 1 part reducer, and the reducer just makes it thin out a little bit. On our little mix cup here, we can go to our 4 to 1 to 1 section, and we're just gonna fill it up. We just need a tiny little bit. So we're gonna fill it up to the 1, 4 parts primer, to the 1, which is 1 part activator, to the 1, which is 1 part reducer. Mix it all up, put it in the gun, and spray. There's our 1 part primer. Oh, I need pliers to get that open. That hasn't been open in a while. Can't remember the last time I sprayed this primer. There's our 1 part activator, and the activator is what makes it hard. When you buy rattle can primer, it does not have this, which is why rattle can primers are kind of frowned upon. They never actually get hard. And then 1 part reducer. Grab a stir stick. Give it a little mix. We don't have very much at all because we don't need much. Basically just going to give it like 1 coat. We'll grab a mask and see you guys outside. All right, we'll give it 1 light coat over the bare metal and then 1 full coat over everything and call it good. So our sealer, I don't know if the camera picks it up or not, but you can see the little, I don't know, it's got just weird spots in it. So hopefully that'll be okay. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's do an experiment. I just took this off the paint shaker, so it should be all mixed up. We'll give it a good coat and then put some clear on. This doesn't have any hardener in it. The clear coat, when it goes over top, that's what has the hardener. There's 3 coats on there. It looks really nice. That weird spot in our sealer seems to have figured itself out, and it's fine. So let's mix up some clear and finish these off. With our base coat setting up, or flashing as they call it, we're gonna mix up some clear coat now. Already cleaned the gun out. It's all good to go. This is the clear that we're using. It's just Mason, simple, like economy brand stuff. It is also a 4 to 1 ratio, 4 parts clear to 1 part activator. So let's go back to our 4 to 1. We're gonna go probably a little bit more than we did last time because we want to give it like a couple coats of clear. So let's go, we went to the 1 last time. Let's go to our 2. There's our 2 parts clear. Or 4 parts clear up to the number 2 line. Now we'll go to the next number 2 line, which will be our 1-part activator. Just like before, we'll mix this up, dump it in the gun. I'll see you outside. Bad news. I just finished spraying the first coat of clear, and that weird reaction we were having with the sealer is coming through again. I should have just stripped these right down the bare metal. There's always a gamble when you paint over top of, like, I don't know what that red paint was that was on there. I sanded off all the paint that I put on, but I didn't go past that red paint. Probably should have, because it doesn't like whatever we're doing here. So what I'm gonna do, because we got nothing to lose at this point right now, I'm gonna let this sit for, like, I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour or so with the clear over top. Let it tack up kind of good, and then I'm gonna give it one more coat of base to see if we can paint over top of that now that it's got like a layer in between. We'll see what happens. Like I said, we got nothing to lose. It'll either work or it won't work. Right now, if we abandon it right now, we got to strip it. If we try this and it doesn't work, we'll just strip it. Nothing to lose. All right, while we let our fender skirts sit outside and think about what they've done, we're gonna move on to the clay bar technique. I'm starting on the trunk because this little spot right here really bugs me, and I wanna see if this will work. So we've got this mist, this detail mist that you're supposed to spray on. I guess like that. And then you take this clay bar, and it says to knead it into like a little disc. And then you just kind of like, almost like sanding, just rub it on there, and it is supposed to lift and remove all the weird stuff. So I've never really clay barred anything before. I tried clay barring my old Thunderbird, this car, and I got about 5 minutes into it, and I dropped the clay bar on the ground into the dirt, and that's as far as I went on that. This is pretty easy so far, and it's doing something. So I'll just keep working away at this. I'm gonna do this car kind of like one panel at a time, starting with the trunk lid. Oh, it got tight there. It definitely needs the lubricant. I don't know if it's gonna lift that spot or not. I'll keep working away at it and see what happens. There's about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so of the clay bar on the trunk lid. It did not want to take that spot off. I hit it with a razor blade very, very gently and got most of it up. I might hit it with like 1,000 grit sandpaper and see what happens. The clay bar has definitely made a difference. This is nice and smooth now. It almost has that, like, I don't think the camera will pick it up, but you know when you're wet sanding and a little bit of orange peel comes off the top, it almost has that look to it. But my glove slide's really nice on here, and on the quarter panel that we have not done yet, it is, you can hear it. So the clay bar is definitely doing something. It made it a little bit shinier, but not much. That's not really the clay bar's job. So anyways, I'm just gonna keep picking away. I'm not getting super carried away. Like, we could probably do this a couple more times on the trunk lid, but I got to remember, I've got a whole car to do, and I don't want to spend the rest of my life doing this. So, not getting super carried away. Maybe we'll do the whole car, and if I'm still super into it, then maybe we'll do the whole car again. But in the meantime, I'd rather get the whole car done like 75%, then the trunk lid done 100%, and the rest of the car not done because I ran out of time or motivation or interest. So it's been about an hour and a half, but I've got the trunk lid done, the rear valence, the top of the quarter panels, the whole roof, the cowl, and the hood all finished up. It's making a huge difference. I don't know if the camera can hear it, but that's like scratchy and bumpy and textured. And this is nice and smooth. My hand just glides across it. So it's definitely doing something. Got a little bit of shine, but not much. The clay bar is not the thing that gives it the shine though. That'll be once we put the polish on. I'm gonna go outside again and give our fender skirts another coat of green and see what happens. It's been about, I don't know, an hour and a half, and this is like dry to the touch now. Look how bad that reacted. I just gave this one a coat. So far, so good. I mean, it was good before too, so I'll give it a coat, check on it again in like 10 minutes or so, and if it looks good, then maybe one more coat and some clear. Oh man, I can't win today. So I gave it a second coat of base, and it was great, other than out of nowhere, this little black cloud, not even a black cloud, just the tiniest little cloud ever. Where'd it go? Right there. Sprinkled. Just enough on it to ruin my day. I'm gonna try to maybe blow that off with some compressed air and wait for it to stop sprinkling, and then we'll clear it. I think we saved the fender skirt disaster. I just got 2 coats of clear on them. The sun's out. Let's walk away from this before it gets wrecked. So once again, after the clear went on, probably about a half an hour since I cleared it, and it's starting to come back again. So lesson learned. Always strip everything. Oh well. I mean, they look better than they did in gray primer. Let's just go back and keep polishing the car, or clay barring the car, and we'll worry about this later. This is the last panel. All the panels are clay barred now. I think going over it again would be awesome. Except for, I don't have any more clay bars left. That kit comes with 3 clay bars. So what I did was used 1 clay bar for all of like the top surfaces, like the trunk lid, the roof, and the hood. And then I used the other 2 clay bars, just 1 for each side. And that's about all the life that you can get out of them. Otherwise they start getting, I'll show you here. That's what they look like. Pretty gross, but it did a really good job. I think it's definitely a step worth taking. One thing that I really like that the clay bar did was up on the front fender. I never took a video of them before, but there was a couple spots on the front fender and on the door where it was weird. I couldn't figure out quite what it was. It almost looked like maybe somebody tried to use a brush and touch up some spots, but it was weird because it wasn't like a brush stroke. It was like maybe for like, if they were using like a fence painting brush. It was like that wide. Just a couple like blotches here and there. Anyways, they came right out. Clay bar just took that right off, which was awesome. Makes me almost wonder if like something got smeared on it or something and it just like baked in there. I don't know. Regardless, they're gone. I gotta go get some food and run an errand, and then I'm gonna come back and we'll start polishing. Polish time. Got our polish, got our polisher. What's the difference between a polisher and just a grinder other than the Velcro pad? This is a foam pad, by the way. They make wool pads and foam pads. Jim at Rondex recommended a foam pad, so that's why I got the foam pad. Difference between a polisher and a grinder is the polisher has this dial down here so you can control the speed. That's basically it. I don't know if you could polish with a grinder or not. I think it would go too fast. All right, let's put a little bit of polish on. You don't need much. And you don't just right off the bat because you're gonna get polish all over you and all over everything. So I usually go to 1. We'll smear it around a little bit. And then just start going. You gotta be mindful of your edges, especially if you're using a wool pad. You can just burn the paint right off the edge. I think we're gonna need a little more polish than that. Let's see what happens. I've got it on 1 right now. Once I get like a nice coat over everything, then we'll turn the speed up. Just like with the clay bar, I'm gonna try to do like 1 panel. Just do 1 panel at a time, or 1 section. I'll probably do from this like quarter panel pinch weld, do from the window to the bumper. I'm on number 2 right now, speed 2. Trunk lid is done. It's definitely not show quality paint, but it's considerably shinier than what it used to be. Started up on the roof now. The roof is all done. Turned out amazing. So, one thing I've learned, don't start on the trunk, start on the roof. Start at the top because it sprays, obviously, and I had to completely go over the trunk again because it was just covered. It looked like the back window. So polishing is super messy. Day 2, I'm just about to get started on the hood here. One thing I've discovered is taking a little bit of water. This just has water in it, and the polish will kind of start getting like kind of thick and gooey and pasty. Just give it a little squirt of water and it just makes everything all happy again. So that's my friend Brian, the car guy. He's polishing away over there. Most of this was his idea. He really wanted to polish this car for a while. He's a big original paint guy, loves original paint. I think we've got it pretty well all polished now, other than the quarter panel that Brian's working on. It is a good 8 out of 10. It's not perfect. There's still blemishes here and there. It could probably get clay barred one more time just to get rid of, I don't know if you can see the spots. There's a couple spots every now and then in it. But we're not getting super carried away because our goal is just to make it shinier and kind of try to preserve it a little bit. So now let's wax. So wax, full disclosure, I don't think I've waxed the car since the 90s. This is Mother's Carnauba Gold, or Carnauba California Gold. And I'm assuming that it's just like Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off. Is that right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Special guest, Rick Trenton, painter extraordinaire. So yeah, the whole point of us waxing this, now that we've polished it, is this is just going to like kind of seal it and preserve it. This way, you know, when it rains and stuff, the water will bead off. When Lex throws his cars on the hood, you know, there's just a little layer of protection. So I think I'm just gonna, just like Karate Kid, wax on, wax off this whole thing and see what happens. Wow, what a transformation. This thing went from a tired old car to a brand new, it's like a brand new car now. Minus, obviously, a little bit of patina here and there. So we gave the whole thing some wax. I think we're ready to put the fender skirts on. I know the fender skirts didn't turn out perfect, but they're the best that we got today. So we'll put them on and then we'll just, at a later date, redo those. It'll be fine. I think Jim nailed the color match on the fender skirts. All right, well, there we go. We've restored 75-year-old paint to what I would say is probably like an 8 out of 10, which I am stoked with. I mean, I thought the car looked really good before, but now it looks amazing. I'm so happy with that. So, clay bar, 3M rubbing compound, Carnauba wax, and of course it always helps to have some friends helping. So huge thanks to Brian, the car guy, for swinging by today and spending a few hours polishing, and Rick for just hanging out. Rick's always, what do you want? Rick's always good company. Anyways, we were supposed to go to a trunk or treat thing today. Oh no, someone's having a meltdown. But it started raining this afternoon and we didn't have this thing finished anyways, so we never made it, but we'll have to cruise another day. I guess that's it for this video. We'll do the fender skirts another day. I think they're acceptable for now. They, it's actually not too weird because we got that little bit of patina showing through on the hood, and there's a little bit of, I don't know. No, it doesn't look at all like the hood, but they look fine. They're good enough. Good enough for now. We'll tackle that another day. Yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, if you haven't already subscribed, do it now. If you like this video, hit the like button, because the more people that hit the like button, the more YouTube pushes the video, which opens it up to other people, more viewers. More viewers, the better. So thanks everybody for the support, and we'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to hit the website, lgspeedcustom.com.